Hi guys, so today I wanted to film a video, and yes, I have shorts on. I was gonna do a gaming video, but my iPod is like not working, so you know. Life. Moving on. So, maybe later I'll do the speech jammer challenge. I don't know. But today I wanted to do a story time about the worst weekend in my life. And I'm gonna call this Death Weekend because literally, it's probably one of the most morbid weekends I've ever had. So, here's what happened. It started on a Saturday, okay? Just gonna say that because it did. It started on a Saturday. We're just gonna start with Saturday. We're not even gonna get into Friday because Friday is like... Anyway, so it's Saturday morning, and I'm asleep. One last sleep, but like getting ready in the morning, like getting dressed and stuff like that. And we hear this, like, fireworks coming from our backyard. Popping, like, these loud, like, boom, 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 boom. And we're like, what the heck is going on? So I look out my window. There's nothing there. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? And then, so my dad goes outside in our backyard to investigate. And it turns out a live wire, and if you don't know what that means people are still trying to get power from that wire, fell. A power line fell. And it fell behind our house, like, not necessarily our house, but, like, close to, I don't know, it's hard to explain. And it hit our fence when it came down, and a jolt of electricity went, and my dad was in the backyard, like, here. So, if this is our kitchen door, and you open it, and then you walk this way to get to our backyard, and this is our backyard. Right here is our backyard. And the fence is right here. So the kitchen door is here. There's this little pathway to get to the full backyard, and then fence. So it hit this fence, and it went, and we also have a fence here, so my dog doesn't get out. So it hit this fence, went to our house. My dad was trapped outside, and we were afraid that our main service line, and again, if you don't know what that means like our cable, our power, that's in the middle of our backyard. If that would have fell, my dad would have been completely trapped and could have got electrocuted. Actually, almost got electrocuted because it was sparking. He almost got electrocuted. Then, once you exit this little hallway, and they're like pathway, whatever, to get into our backyard, there's the full backyard. And then halfway in the middle of the backyard is the main service line. So if that would have fell and the fence was still lighting up, my dad would have been trapped in between. And that's like a little patch of area. I'll show you how my backyard is at the end of this video. So it was like that. And then my dad, so then we have our full backyard once you get past that in the full backyard. And over here is my neighbor Charlene's house or whatever. And so her fence is plastic coated, so my dad thought it was safer. He didn't even climb the fence. He jumped over it barefoot in his pajamas, jumped over it, and then started knocking on people's doors saying, like, call 911, we don't know what's going on. And I just got a message from my uncle. Anyway, so on this fence, there's this fence, and it's got plastic coating, so my dad jumped over it. He was bleeding on his ankles because he hit the cement with so much force, or grass with so much force, on the other side of the fence because he just completely hopped over the fence. So he was bleeding on his ankle. He's trying to go to house to house saying, like, call 911, I think a power line just fell. And since the kitchen door's here, and then the fence is here, and the other fence is here, it went to our house. So my dad was, also freaking out that our house is going to catch on fire. And it almost did because our basement smelled like char, because it went through our whole, like, wires and everything. So our basement smelled like burnt house. Still kind of does. Or did in the laundry room, because that's where all our wire and, like, the main grid or whatever for our house is. And so, why do people keep talking? I'm getting messages from my parents or whatever. Mostly my grandparents. Anyway, because they went to the Henry Ford Village, and I'm here, because I didn't want to go. I'm here with people, though. Like, my grandparents went. My parents are still here. And then yeah, my grandparents are texting me like, you should have came to the village with us. And I'm like, no, I'm fine with my parents here in my house. Because I'd rather be here with my mom and dad than with my grandparents at a Henry Ford village at Greenfield Village that I've seen 40 million times. And I'm not even kidding. I've seen the village like so many times. And the reason is because they have a membership. So we go pretty often. So I just get really bored of it. But like today's like the Civil War day or whatever. And I still didn't want to go because we went to that last year. So anyway, and they also did this market thing. It's a really fun place. But once you've done it 40 times, it gets boring. Because it's the same facts over and over and over again. And here's the Wright brothers' house. Seen it. Here's the pottery place. Seen it. Like, what else is there to do? Ride the train all day? No, thank you. So there's all that. Anyway, back to the morbid weekend. So, power line fell. We were out of power for a little bit. Then our power came back on. 6 cop cars, because they come in pairs, so technically 3 pairs of cop cars, came to our house. An ambulance, because they didn't know if our house was going to catch on fire. And, like, all of 911. And then DTE came out and they were like, well, I hope they didn't cut the line down, and we were really confused by that. Anyway, it's all fixed and good now. Next day, Sunday morning, I have to take my guinea pig out because we're doing something that day. I don't remember what we were doing. Oh, I had a bridal shower to go to. And so I had to take Cookie out because I knew I wouldn't have time like later on in the day. I take him out. He's not acting like his normal self. And I was thinking about it. I was like, he doesn't look good. And I was petting him. I held him out like all morning. And then I said, I got to get ready. So because I already knew I wasn't going to the bridal shower because like my guinea pig's sick. I'm going to stay here. And my dad wasn't going to the bridal shower anyway. Because like men aren't like invited. Anyway, so I was there, and I was here, and I stayed in the same room, because I said I wasn't going to leave him at all, because I wanted to be in the same room at all times. So I was just getting my clothes on. I had turned my back to him, and I put a blanket under him, like, on the ground, to see if he would walk, and he wasn't moving, and he was moving, but it was hard for him to move and travel, and he was old. He was 7, and normally guinea pigs live from 3 to 5, or they can live from 5 to 8, but it really depends. I think they can also live to 10. They can live to 10, but he lived to almost 7, so yeah. Anyway, so I turned my back, and when I turned back around, he was fidgeting, but wasn't breathing, and I said that's probably just the electricity in his body, because we had learned about that, how like frogs, when they die, they still fidget, because all the electricity in their body isn't gone yet, and stuff like that. So I had already known kind of that he was gone, and I just kept sitting there petting him, being sad and upset, because he was my best friend for 7 years, and he still is my best friend, because he was always there for me when my parents were yelling at me, when I felt like nobody wanted me around, my friends were mad at me, and my parents were mad at me, and I was just stuck in my room, and I thought I had nobody. I had my guinea pig, so that's why he's my best friend. And if my friends get offended by that, oh well, they weren't here when, like, my guinea pig didn't get mad at me like all my friends do. My guinea pig was there for me when my parents were yelling at me, and none of my friends are. And that's not their fault. They're just not around to see it happen, because when my friends are around, my parents are perfect angels, whatever. And then when they leave, it's like, Megan, clean this up, and then Megan, Elizabeth, Salvacar, you get in here, and like, anyway. So, we had him cremated individually, and for our past pets, we had gone to the Lincoln Park vet to get him cremated, but this was a Sunday morning, and they weren't open, so we went to Angel Hospital and vet in Southgate by CVS and Carrabba's, and like by there, by like Great Clips and stuff like that. And anyone who knows that area knows that area. like across from Walmart by Fudgies and stuff like that. I'm just telling you for anyone that lives around me who knows. So went there. I would highly recommend for anyone who lives like in the Downriver area to go to Lincoln Park Vet because I love that place. But also, if you ever want a cremation, you should probably go to Angel Hospital because it's a lot less expensive and the box is a lot nicer. Here, I'm going to get Cookie's cremation and then you can compare it to the Lincoln Park Vet. No offense to Lincoln Park Vet because I love the Lincoln Park Vet. I mean, they helped with my dog Winston and Bandit and Higgins. They helped with all my dogs and they did a great job. And they're really good at their job. I would highly recommend Lincoln Park Vet for a normal vet checkup and stuff like that because they're really good. And I would also recommend Angel Hospital for, like, if you want to, like, just walk in and get your dog weighed because they're really fast and they don't really have weights, like, wait times or whatever, like a waiting room. They don't really have, they just walk in, get it done, walk out. Like, Lincoln Park Vet is more, I guess you could say, I don't want to say civilized, but it's a lot slower process because you're, like, wait in the waiting room, then you get taken back, then they check your dog there. No, Angel Hospital is a lot different because you just walk in, they check the dog, and then you walk out. You don't wait in a waiting room or anything like that. I mean, there is a little waiting room, but it's a couple chairs, and that's about it. And you don't have to go, like, take him back or whatever. But you can go into rooms. That's still an option, but you don't have to, like, go through a bunch of doors, and then you'll have all the rooms. No, you don't have to do that. Anyway, I'm talking too much. I'm going to get the cremations, and I'll show you the difference. So here's the difference. This is the Lincoln Park Vet. Little tin, aluminum, I don't know what it is. Jug that's got paw prints on it and it's red. And it's just like a tin. If you can hear that. It's metal. And then this is Angel Hospital's. It's a little tiny box made of wood. It's made of wood. And it's a lot nicer because you can open it. And then they have a little bag inside. If you open the little bag, not to be depressing or morbid, but here's my guinea pig. That's not being morbid. That's just the little bag he came in. And he's actually a lot lighter, I guess, because you, like, once you get cremated, you get a lot of weight off, I guess. So he, like, weighs like nothing. He feels like nothing. But this is a lot nicer, in my opinion. Like, if you want a nice wood box to keep in. And on the bottom it says, cremated remains of Cookie. Date of cremation, May 21st, 2017. And I like this a lot better because it's a lot more portable and holdable than this big jug that doesn't even say his name on the bottom. It does, but it says Lincoln Park Vet Hospital, Winston's Avacar. That's all it says. That one says date of cremation, and I like that a lot better. And also, this is a tin, and it's taped down because I don't think he's in a bag. He's just ashes. So, I definitely would go with this because it's a lot nicer than this, but it's still your opinion. If for anyone who lives, again, in the Downriver area. And that's just my opinion. Yeah, that's just my opinion. And this video is getting way too long, so I'll show you my backyard maybe another time. Okay, bye!